You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Arya and this is your NXT report for Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018. Happy 12 de Mayo. That's not a real thing, is it? Anyway, the Undisputed Era kicked off the show with a backstage promo this week, bragging about their successes. Adam Cole said Oney Lorcan will one day be able to tell his grandkids that he lost to Adam Cole. Kyle O'Reilly dared Danny Burch to try to attack them again. Bobby Fish said that he'll alert his rehab unit that they have more patients coming. And Roderick Strong said that what he did to Pete Dunne at TakeOver is nothing compared to what will happen here tonight. On the other side of the opening credits, we kicked off the in-ring action with Kairi Sane going one-on-one with Shazza McKenzie from Sydney, Australia. I can confirm that Sydney, Australia is an excellent vacation spot. Shazza used some weak-looking offense early, but this was all Sane as she hit all of her moves quickly before hitting the big, insane elbow for the win. After the match, Lacey Evans strolled out to address Kairi. Evans said that a true lady has the courage to admit that they were wrong, and Evans told Kairi that she was sorry for doubting that Kairi belonged here in NXT. Evans stuck her hand out, hoping that Sane would accept her apology. While Kairi thought about it, Lacey knocked her out with one punch. Did not see that coming, did you? Or maybe you did. It was pretty obvious. Anyway, that really wasn't ladylike on Lacey Evans' behalf there. Candice LeRae attempted to cut a promo backstage regarding Tommaso Ciampa's attack on her husband Johnny Gargano last week. She doesn't understand who Ciampa is or why he is doing this. She thought her and Johnny were done with this, and, well, she could not continue at this point as she was crying too hard to keep going. We had a Lars Sullivan video airing. He wants a championship belt and is not picky at all about which one he gets. TM61 took on the Street Profits next. Both of these teams were in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic this year. Both of these teams went down against the Authors of Pain. TM61 seemed to be teasing a heel turn a few weeks ago as they are trying to be as successful as they were once upon a time. This was a good little TV tag team match between what we thought were two sets of baby faces. The finish saw a series of reversals and roll-ups, and then Shane Thorne rolled up Montez Ford, put his feet on the ropes, and Nick Miller held Shane Thorne's feet as well to give extra leverage as Shane Thorne pins Montez Ford and TM61 defeat the Street Profits. Next week, it's War Raiders versus Heavy Machinery. Cassius Ohno was somewhere upset about Tommaso Ciampa beating up Johnny Gargano last week. Notice he hasn't been upset for 51 out of the last 52 weeks. I mean, seriously, Ciampa turned on Gargano last May, and Cassius Ohno was never given two craps about it, and now all of a sudden he cares. If I'm Johnny Gargano, I'm telling him to just mind his own effing business at this point. Anyway, Ohno vowed to take out Ciampa, and that match was made for next week. What happens if you were to merge the corniness of John Morrison, the looks of Hiromu Takahashi, and the white jacket of former NXT rookie Jacob Novak, who was a big tool? You get the finest Kona Reeves. It's possible that once upon a time Kona Reeves also was known as the unsatisfactory Kona Reeves, if he's now the finest. Anyway, Reeves hit the Ted DiBiase falling middle elbow drop, the Hawaiian drop, which is a slightly modified Samoan drop, for the pin and the win over his opponent, Patrick Scott. EC3 was somewhere talking about how he had the perfect first match in NXT, the 5-star match back in NXT TakeOver New Orleans. And if that was his first match, imagine what his second match will be like. And he said that the sequel is always better than the original, which gave me immediate flashbacks of Birdemic 2, which really isn't fair since it's hard to tell which Birdemic was worse than the other. Anyway, he's wrestling next week against Raul Mendoza. Dakota Kai was interviewed earlier today. She really wants to make her mark here in NXT, but she refused to talk about Shayna Baszler. Vanessa Bourne, of all people, walked up and said Dakota was a pathetic scaredy cat. Bourne said she would have slapped the hell out of Baszler and is not afraid of neither Dakota Kai nor Shayna Baszler. And then Kai said she has issues with Bourne. Bourne was upset by this and walked away. So they will probably be wrestling soon enough. Then we got a women's division match as opposed to the men's division matches we've had so far. It was Candice LeRae wrestling one-on-one with Bianca Belair. The story of this match was LeRae was distracted thinking about Johnny Gargano and his health. And the highlight of this match was Belair lifting Candice off the mat and straight over her head as if she was powerlifting LeRae. LeRae got a brief comeback, but Belair blocked the tornado DDT and pinned Candice with the alley-oop backwards powerbomb thingy that she does. Then it was main event time. It was a non-title match as United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne took on 1/4 of Undisputed Era, 1/2 of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Roderick Strong. Strong at first came out to his own music, but that quickly changed to the Undisputed Era theme as Colin O'Reilly came out there with him. Dunne at the bell ran across the ring and punched Strong right in the mouth in the greatest opening 5 seconds in wrestling history. This was a hard-hitting match between two men who knew each other's moves and spent time thinking of counters to those moves. After being stretched, though, for several minutes, Dunne made his comeback by blocking a suplex. He hit an X-Plex. Dunne went for the fingers, but Strong booted him to the outside near Colin O'Reilly. They didn't do anything, but that brief distraction gave Strong another flurry. Dunne finally got tired of being a punching bag and snapped Strong's fingers and made his final comeback. Dunne pounded away in the corner before hitting the bitter end. Dunne rolled him over, shot the half, went for the cover, but Colin O'Reilly ran in for the disqualification. We had a 3-on-1 beatdown until Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch ran in for the save, and the show ended with the two trios staring at each other from afar. So that does it for NXT this week. We're on the road to NXT TakeOver Chicago. Until next week, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again in 7 days.
You're listening to the Angry Marks Podcast Network.